Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anna, and I work as account manager at Odoo. Today, I'm here with you to present you a webinar about remote working with our software. And basically, as you can see, the topic of our webinar is how to manage efficiently your sales pipeline still when you work remotely. So I think it's a topic which is now interesting for everybody since we are all blocked at home and working from home. And to make it more interesting, I decided to tell you my COVID-19 story. So basically, as you know, Odoo organizes quite a few of road shows around the world, so in different cities. And it was the case for me as well. In the beginning of March, I went on a road show with another colleague to Minsk and Kiev. And it was just the situation at the beginning of crisis in Belgium. So we still managed to go there, have our first road show in Minsk. The second one in Kiev already didn't take place. And upon my return to Belgium, we were told to stay on quarantine at least 2 weeks at home. After that, it was also the beginning of quarantine for the whole country. Why I'm saying it, the only thing what was different for me, like than to my colleagues maybe, that I could not go to the office. I could not take stuff I needed from there because I had only my Odoo laptop and I had to organize myself as from day one at home with my laptop, and all the things, all the work to do. And I managed to do it. I can tell you that you can do it actually quite easily with Odoo. Yes, as you have everything saved, within the program itself, it was not an issue at all. A bit later on, I will tell you a bit more. Of course, I will show to you how I organized my daily activities and how I managed to sell efficiently. But before we jumped into that, I would like still to present our company. So what is Odoo? To those, of course, who don't know it yet. Here you can see we are in 2007, so a group of motivated people. Here on the right, you can see Fabian, our CEO, who founded the company. Interesting thing is that the people you see here on the picture, nearly all of them are still working for Odoo. And so this very motivated young people with great ideas on how to develop a great solution. And here we are in 2019. So you see the difference amount of people, and with here you can also see some of our partners who help to sell Odoo, in their countries. So if we go a bit more into the numbers, as you can see on the timeline, the company was founded in 2002. In different years, we opened different offices in other countries, and if you can look, we have about 2,450 partners presented in 120 countries. The net revenue is also high, and on users, we count more than 4 million of users around the world. If we have a look at our offices, we are a Belgian company, so our headquarters are situated at Grand Rosière, and we have another office for sales and marketing departments in Brussels. We opened offices in the United States, India, China, Luxembourg, and recently in Dubai. All of it was possible also thanks to the network of our partners presented in different countries and offering the solution in those countries, and as well, of course, to the employees working directly for Odoo. What's actually Odoo? If I can compare it a bit with your situation. Maybe nowadays you might be using different softwares to manage different processes of your business, and you encounter to do one process in one software, then it's not integrated with another solution, so sometimes you lose a bit of time copy pasting information to get the correct data. So basically in Odoo, you don't need to do that. So as from my opinion, Odoo, the main advantage of the solution that all of your processes can be organized within one software, and doesn't matter what your sector of activity is. Literally you can organize different processes, everything within Odoo. So for each need, as we say, we have an app. And if you look at other competitors, I mean at other ERP systems, on this graph, here up in the left corner you can see SAP, Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics. They're really they have a high potential as ERP solutions, but they're not necessarily very user-friendly, so easy to use. On the other hand, here you have solutions like Single Apps, Shopify, Trello. They're quite easy-friendly, sorry, but they're not integrated. So as for Odoo, we are somewhere in the middle, meaning that we can organize nearly all of your processes, or even all of them, within one solution, and we try to stay user-friendly. So, okay, enough of presentation of the company. Let's get into some fun stuff now, okay? And I will switch here into the database. So here we are, my day one working from home. We are online, so I need to have, of course, my internet, and it was easy from there. I connected myself into Odoo. As you can see, a suite of different applications I use. And as a sales representative, of course, I have to stay up to date with all my daily activities. In Odoo, you have a small clock here, which permits you to see different activities scheduled. For some activities, as you can see, I'm quite late already. For others, I have to do them today. So that was the first thing I'm gonna do. It's quite easy, as a system will directly put me into the correct place in CRM. Okay, and here we start. Okay, so for this client success, I have to send an email. Let's write quickly a feedback, and within CRM, so within a tool which is used a lot by sales representatives, of course, we will write directly a quick update, hello email to my customer with best regards. Sorry, Anna. Okay, so the email from CRM is sent out directly from Odoo. The customer, of course, receives it into his or her email, and once he or she replies to me, I will get notified on my email as well as within CRM. So it's very handy to have all of your activities, or all the emails exchange with your customers within one place, and anybody, of course, managers or can verify how their sales representatives are doing and how many exchanges was there with one customer or another. And of course, I will have to schedule a next activity for this one. Let's give to this customer a call within 1 week. So we are fine, and we can treat the second late activity with an email overdue. Fine, I will just write down. So basically, this way we can keep to date, check I don't have any more late activities, as you can see, and I can pass and concentrate on my today's activities. Here we are within CRM itself. So as you can see, I have some business to do, and we already treated first part of it. What else is important for sales representatives? It is, of course, generation of new business is really important for us. So let's go directly into it. Let's imagine here I will look for unassigned opportunities, and as you can see, I have 2 of them. Before we go treat our unassigned opportunities, I just wanted for you to mention in general how one can generate leads within Odoo. So the first, we have 3 ways of lead generation. The first one, it can be done through contact us form links to the website. So a potential customer goes on your website, clicks on contact us, and fills in a form, and basically it generates directly a lead or an opportunity within your CRM system. And then, of course, your sales reps can take it as from here. Moreover, a second way of lead generation can be when we have our sales team. So we can assign one email address. It can be your professional email address, and anybody place it also somewhere on your social medias or on your website. And anybody who would write an email to that specific email address would be generated as a lead or an opportunity within your Odoo CRM. And of course, last but not least, the third way of lead generation is when you create them manually within your CRM system. As for us, we don't have to do cold calling. Basically, how do we get leads in Odoo? It's quite easy. If you go on odoo.com, anybody can try a free, now you have the webinar sales. Usually here you have try it for free button, and by clicking on it you can choose all the applications. We can click here, start now, it's free, and you can choose here a few of your applications you want to try, and you just configure your database automatically by putting in company name, phone number, country, and so on, and you start a 15-day free trial. Once you did all of it, usually our sales rep will contact you back to get to know more about your project and to guide you along your evaluation. Okay, let us get back to our CRM now. So generation of new business. And as we can see, I have two unassigned opportunities here. So basically, let me take one of it. And I can see, the customer is called Powerline. I have, since all apps in Odoo are integrated, I can directly click and have a preview of a customer. So it's connected to Contacts actually app, but it's okay for me to have a quick glance on it. And I can see as from here that basically the country is United Kingdom. Since it's a country that I do not work for, so I can easily assign this opportunity to my colleague Beatrice, who will be the one working on United Kingdom, for instance. And of course, now Beatrice, she's at home. She will receive an email that there was one lead assigned to her, but we go further, and we would like to also tag Beatrice and say, can you please call the lead? So thanks to internal note, I can notify my colleagues about anything in Odoo. It can be here in CRM, but it can be used also in other applications. It's really convenient, and Beatrice will directly receive an email to do something within the system. Working from home might be hard. You might be bored staying alone. And it's so, do you have here a chatter where you can easily chat to the colleagues. So I can again chat to my lovely Beatrice here, and we can have a conversation discussing anything, of course, about business. You also have another small app, Discuss, where you can also create channels of communication, also internally between a group of colleagues on a specific topic, and so on. Okay, so let's go back to CRM. You see, we treated with you all late activities. I will not go into today activities, but you can also easily recognize them here thanks to a color. They are actually here in a orange or yellow color, and the one for future are green. I will do that later, but let us do a third thing. What is important for salespeople is actually closing the deals. And here I suggest we take one customer, in proposition, for instance, and let's imagine we have a call with them now and agreed to send a quote. So this customer, I just had him on the phone. For me, I use we have VOP within Odoo, so I can directly click on his phone and directly call the customer, and it all be logged is in the system, so I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to take my phone, and I can conveniently easily call my customer, have a discussion, and write a feedback about our calls that we had. So let's imagine that E2E web solutions, they ask me for a quote. They would like to use Odoo, and I will directly create a new quotation for them. So again, I would like to underline the importance of integrated apps. As you can see, we are still here within CRM, but quotation is already something which belongs to the sales app. And here I can easily choose, I created one quotation template with a few applications of Odoo and number of users. I can choose my expiration date and as well as payment terms for this customer if they were not set up front. Let's imagine that this customer requires 10 users and he needs CRM sales and invoicing to start with. So we save the quote and we send it out to the end client. You might think, okay, she did all of it, she sent out, so we can also track the email that was sent out, but how will she now generate the revenue? How will, customer is not there, customer is somewhere, in another country. How will we get, the business on and running? Very easy. So now imagine I'm the end customer that's received an email, and when clicking he has a link which brings him here to this portal that I'm showing you now. So basically he can see his quotation number 2 with with their invoicing and shipping address, as well as other details we mentioned in quote. Of course, you can put your terms and conditions and so on within the quote, and the client can actually reject the quote, write me a comment here or a feedback, or of course what we really want him to do is he accepts and signs the offer. So basically, the client is somewhere in another country. The solution can be integrated as well with credit cards. So the client could sign the offer and directly even pay his invoice by credit card. Or in our case, it's a wire transfer. So for now, he just signs the order. And me, on the back side, I will just show you now let me go into the sales app. So you can see here is our customer and our sales order number 2. And as I go inside here, so I had my first email sent 2 minutes ago, and we were in a status of quotation sent. As you can see now, we have a sales order, and we can easily check that basically here is the PDF of a quote with client's signature there. So I have the proof. Moreover, thanks to smart buttons here, I see that we have one subscription which has been generated with this customer. Okay, and the next, of course, for me as for sales rep, as I mentioned, he will pay by wire transfer. It's important for me to create an invoice. So I create and view the invoice. In our case is draft, and the way we work in Odoo, I would usually tag my colleague. In this case, I'll tag myself, but basically I can tag my colleague from accounting and say, can you please validate the invoice? And here is, and I would even attach here in attachment, let me take one file for you to show. I would attach here just a proof of payment from my customer. This way everything is clean in the system, and my colleague from accounting can then validate the invoice and also register the payment once we received it into Odoo account. So that's what it was regarding the invoice. For me, as for sales rep, I don't have to do much more with the invoice now. It's for my colleagues to take care of. And last but not least, in Odoo as well, we take care, of course, of our existing customers. So the next step for me, as for account manager, would be also to see on my subscription, big make sure that the customer is welcomed correctly, and in this way I can click directly on his subscription. I can see that the customer is set, and since he chose a monthly subscription, so the invoice will be recurring. The next invoice will be on the 16th of May, as you can see here. And here, thanks to a chatter, I can also, for instance, schedule an activity of call follow-up to make maybe in 1 week to make sure that the customer everything is going fine with Odoo. But what I would already do is send, for instance, a welcome email to my, if you configure some templates here, you can already choose emails by default, but I will just write him an email, welcome to Odoo. So basically, the customer received a first email, of course, with some extra information of what he benefits as a customer, that I am his point of contact, and with the next activity planned for him. So, we will not forget about this customer. And last but not least, let's now imagine, I might work from home, but of course I have my partners or my customers that might give me a call or write me a quick email, and they need some information. So let's imagine that I have now a phone call from a client saying, Anna, please find my last invoice, what was the amount of it, or so on. So I can go quickly find in my search button here in contacts my customer, basically, the one we just had with you now. And thanks to smart buttons, I have a whole overview of what's going on with them. So if he asks me about the invoice, I can quickly jump into a sales order and check his actually invoice here and mention him the amount that he has to pay to Odoo. So thanks to this kind of smart buttons, you can easily navigate within a system and find the information you need quite fast. And this is something very convenient, I would say, when I have to back up some of my colleagues. Because of course, then you get on like a new market with some partners, customers to take care of. You don't know much about maybe that market yet, and when they ask a few questions, I could have quickly find a customer and have a whole overview and see more in details, try to help this customer. Okay. Last but not least, I think very important module to cover, especially when working from home. You might have it in your business. Sometimes I work with Eastern Europe, and actually some countries, they do not just easily accept quotation with the signature, but they need some kind of a contract pre-configured, like in a PDF file. We put it up together, and after that both parties, so Odoo and my customer, have to sign it prior they confirm the order. So in this case, sign module can be very useful. It's our e-sign module. First of all, just I'll show you a few things. I can upload a PDF template, for instance, NDA, and it is here within the system. As you can see, I can set up, for instance, signature, place it where I need. So I placed it not correctly, but like here. I can put also initials and of a customer, or it can be of employee of a company, and then some other files. Okay, so email. Even here, if I want to add some name box here, it's possible to do so. I save it then and usually send it to my customer. How does it work? So let's just sign with you let me choose myself. and we will sign directly one file together. Basically, customer receives a file, okay, and he just clicks on a link redirected to our eSign, and he just clicks and starts putting the initials. Okay, since I already did some trials, Odoo recognizes my initials, and I just go into next. My full name, email is here, country, let me write Belgium, and today's date. Okay, and my signature, so I'm gonna sign it, adopt and sign the file. I validate and send a completed document back to Odoo, for example. And of course, here what happens is, should there be a second signature, so second signature by, for instance, by my by Odoo itself. So it's also possible, of course, to do a double party signature. Then Odoo get notified that, okay, the customer signed now. It's up to Odoo now to do, their job and sign the contract. Just a small hint for you. Here we use this application as well for HR. So every time we hire a new joiner, basically he can configure his package, his salary package online, and he has to then sign his contract actually online. So even now during teleworking, we have some new joiners who never came to our office yet for work. They're working from home with Odoo, and they managed to sign their contracts. Okay, so basically that was more or less the tour I wanted to show you today around these applications. In conclusion, I would like to say that whatever your activity is, it can be organized within Odoo, and even when you work like remotely. For instance, I might think of you are an IT company, you provide different services, or you are, a service company providing, as I repeat again, services. We have project management app, timesheet app, which will permit you organize everything within the system. Or let's imagine you sell through e-commerce, for instance, clothes or groceries. Odoo also has apps for that, and if you need to track as well your inventory, your supply chain, it is all possible to organize within our system. The front end with e-commerce, when your customers will buy the products, and the back end management, when you will know how much of products left in your inventory, and you can resupply them from from your suppliers actually. Further, my colleague Shatai will write you in the chat about contact us page. So if you have a project, if you are interested in Odoo and you don't know how to start, well, I showed you a trial how you already can start and test some of applications yourself. But you, of course, can fill in a form, and one of our sales representatives gets in contact with you quite fast. If you are interested, you can also write me a quick email at bea@odoo.com. Shatai should write it as well in the chatter. I will also help you and answer your questions. We know that times now are hard for everybody, for all the companies, and in order for companies that would like to launch their business, we have right now, we have a promotion on our success packs. So success packs basically are, we use them for implementation. It's a number of hours during which you can have a dedicated consultant working on your project, on setup of your project, on giving you a training to you and your colleagues remotely. We have already a big experience implementing different projects remotely, and right now you can benefit from a discount of 50%. I think Shatai will also mention the link in the chatter which leads to success packs. And last but not least, don't forget to like the webinar, to share the video with others, leave a comment. In future, we will stream more webinars which will help you to work remotely. And in that case, if you would like to follow them up if you'd like to follow them in future, just subscribe to our YouTube channel and you will receive all the invitations to upcoming webinars. So let's now have, as I told you, I have one laptop. I don't have a second screen. So here my mobile comes in WhatsApp. Shatai should write me some questions from you. And this way, okay, she just basically wrote that she did a great job. She responded to some questions, and there are no actually other questions. So, okay, it was an easy work for me then. I thank everybody for watching this webinar. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to come back to me by mail. And okay, have a nice afternoon and stay safe.